want to start the lesson out by saying all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Say shalom to the brothers out there preaching and teaching truth worldwide. I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Today's lesson is entitled Sleeper Cell. I got the inspiration from this lesson from, I was watching a video or a movie or something, and they mentioned sleeper cell. Now most people heard the terminology sleeper cell. You may even play the video game called Sleeper Cell. But I'm gonna get into a lesson on this particular topic. So right here I have the Wikipedia definition of sleeper cell. Play it for you real quick.
Sleeper cell.
All right. So this is from the dictionary sleeper cell. It says a secretive group of spies or terrorist agents that remain inactive within a target population until ordered to act. So ultimately, that sleeper cell is the elect of the nation of Israel. So I'm saying those pursuant to, I think it's in Romans, I got it pulled up. Romans 11 and 4. But what said the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. So that's those sleeper cells. So that 7 is a number that's a complete number. So a complete number of sleeper cells is here in America, Babylon the Great. So that's the biggest fear of Esau Edom. He doesn't know all the elect, other than he understands that the so-called Negroes, Native American, and Latinos are the Israelites, but he don't know who those prophets are. He doesn't know who the elect are. He understands that the whole house, who the whole house of Israel is, but those sleeper cells, until he see the prophets, until he starts seeing, the men of Great Millstone, the elders and the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on the streets, preaching his word, this devil didn't know who those sleeper cells were. He understood based on the prophecies that his kingdom was ultimately going to come down. But until those sleeper cells was activated, this devil didn't know who they were. So he had all these different programs set up to keep us asleep, to keep those sleeper cells asleep. Vote or die. Now he has the Black Lives Matter. He had the Civil Rights Activist movement. He has all these different programs set up to keep Jake asleep, to keep Jake docile. But see, the Heavenly Father had another plan. So I'm saying Heavenly Father had sleeper cells planted in America, Babylon the Great, and around the four corners of the world. So I'm saying, but the greatest concentration of those sleeper cells is right here in in America, Babylon the Great, in the belly of the beast. See what I'm saying? So right here, I also have let me get it pulled back up. So once again, it says a sleeper cell. It says a secretive group of spies or terrorist agents that remain inactive within a target population until ordered to act. Now, in the terminology of espionage, a sleeper is an operative who infiltrates the society or even the government of a targeted country and is there to remain dormant until activated by a prearranged signal or a certain chain of events. What was those chain of events that activated the sleeper cells, those 7,000 men that haven't bowed down the knee to Baal? What was that chain of events? This was the beginning of those chain of events right here. I got the book of Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel, not Plantation Christianity, because you got to think about it. Plantation Christianity. I'm just going to take it from when I was born in 82. So from 82, 92, 2002. So I'm saying that gospel had been preached around the whole world. So I'm saying even my mom, she grew up on Plantation Christianity. So I'm saying my dad grew up on Plantation Christianity. My whole family grew up on Plantation Christianity. I was raised up I went to a Baptist church. I went to a Methodist church. I've been to a Pentecostal church. I mean, I've been to every kind of Christian church you can go to, except for Jehovah's Witness. Because believe it or not, my family, they despise Jehovah's Witness, not knowing that it's all the same. See what I'm saying? They got different, different belief system, but it's all predicated on Plantation Christianity. It's all based on white Jesus. See what I'm saying? So they all speaking two different messages. They're not all on one accord. So as the scripture said, let me get it, pull it back up. So Matthew 24:14, it says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So now we're seeing the end manifesting itself. Just like because this gospel that the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and men that are teaching the same doctrine, now we're seeing the end manifesting. But see, when you want to go back 80 years, when they was preaching, Cesare Borgia, the end wasn't manifesting. So they could have been saying, the end of the world is coming, but that wasn't the true gospel that was supposed to be preached, to the four corners of the world. So I'm saying that's now we're seeing those sleeper cells activated. That's that chain of events that happen when this gospel that's being preached now is waking up those dry bones. See what I'm saying? So that's those chain of events that's occurring in the earth. And I got a precept to back that up. As it says in Isaiah 8:16, it says, bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. So those 7,000 men, that complete number of men, that testimony was bound up in them. And once that, so it says, bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. So that once those men heard this message, pursuant to Matthew 24:14, this gospel, once it started getting preached around the whole world, then the end is coming now. So I'm saying most of us who may be making videos and stuff and upload to YouTube, they seen apostles of Great Millstone. And if they want to proclaim and say that they didn't see the apostles of Great Millstone, they seen someone who saw the apostles of Great Millstone teaching this word, uploading videos up to YouTube. See what I'm saying? So that's how the elect, in this time frame right now, unless you came across the men that's teaching on the street, that's how they seen it. They seen a video that was uploaded to YouTube, and this gospel has been preached around the whole world. Now the end is coming. So I got another precept. And Salaki. So I'm gonna go back to Isaiah 8:16. So it says, bind up the testimony. So what exactly is that testimony that these 7,000 men have? I got Revelation 9:10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So that testimony that these 7,000 men that's bound up in them. What is that testimony? The scripture said the testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy. So those 7,000 men ultimately going to be prophesying. What are they going to be prophesying? The downfall of America, Babylon the Great. They're not going to be saying they need to vote for the lesser of two evil. That's not in the prophecy. If you got the testimony of Yahweh Shah, which is the spirit of prophecy, might I add, what should you be prophesying? You see that more disasters happen, more calamities happen, more people die from COVID-19, more business get shut down, more people losing their job, famine striking America, famine striking the world. That's the stuff you should be prophesying. Because in order for this righteous kingdom has to be set up, this current rulership has to be taken down. So, as the scripture said, for the testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy. And I got right here Isaiah 34:17, and he hath cast lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them line. So like, I'm going to start this back over. Isaiah 34:17. And he hath cast a lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. So ultimately, those 7,000 men, those prophets, this testimony of Yahweh Shah is going to be in there from generation to generation. Whatever portion the Lord has given those men, those prophets, they're going to possess it from generation to generation, and they're going to dwell in. And when they come back in their lot, the Lord is going to take a 2/3 person who was wicked in the ancient world, and then when they come back now in 2020, they're not going to be a prophet. If they was wicked then, that's their lot. So when the Lord reaches into his spiritual tool bag, so to speak, and when he needs his prophets to come out, he's going to bring his prophets to prophesy. Because what the scriptures say, they're going to possess it from generation to generation, line by line. See what I'm saying? So they're going to have that same testimony that they was prophesying back in Babylon. See what I'm saying? Back in the Medo-Persian Empire, back in the Greek Empire, back in the ancient Roman Empire, and so forth. Those same prophets that was prophesying whatever kingdom they were in, prophesying against, they're going to come back here in America, Babylon the Great, doing the same exact thing. I think that's it. I just want to, get into just a quick lesson on sleeper cell. That hey, the Heavenly Father, He has activated, His sleeper cells here in America, Babylon the Great. So I want to end this lesson off by saying, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.